What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. It's the Wager Alarm live stream Friday Night Ticket. I'm your host, Howard Bender. With me, of course, Craig Mish. And we are already in the midst of bowl season right now. Craig and I, while recording this live stream, actually have Kent State. Some shares over there. Kent State going up against Utah State right now in this game. And so far, Kent State up 20-17, could be going up 23-17 if they kick a field goal here the end of the half. Right. Did they, Craig? Did they get it in?
They did.
Hey, Mazel Tov. We're getting 6.5 points in this one. So we might as well just dive right into it because for the Golden Nugget, this game is ours. In the sense that we picked it.
It's just ours. It's nobody else's.
Nobody else took Kent State. Everybody else, all the money was on Utah State. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was hanging out with some of the players and must have gotten real high, and I have no idea what's going on now.
Great way to start tonight. Yeah.
What day is today?
Yeah, this is when all the quarterback experts come out and track Jordan Love and say, "Oh my gosh, he's so good," and look at his arm, and they haven't watched the whole year, and he wasn't good all year. But look, Kent State's really motivated to this game. Now, they may not win. We know that. They're only up 6 at the half, but certainly we're getting points in this one. First bowl game was not close. It was just a disaster for Charlotte, honestly. Buffalo just annihilated them and ran right through them. So we'll have a lot of bowl games tomorrow. And in the Golden Nugget contest, which continues, we have 7 picks against the spread. And our first pick in the Golden Nugget contest, we actually passed on the first game, and we did take Kent State in this game tonight. So we're getting 6.5 points, and we will hope for the best.
We certainly will. Now, if you guys missed the bowl game preview that Craig and I did last night, that is still available on the YouTube page for wageralarm.com. You can find it over there. We picked all 40 games. Well, we didn't pick all 40 games. We addressed all 40 games. We gave picks in some, we gave leans in others, and then there were some that we just bypassed altogether, just in the sense of we broke the game down a little bit, but kind of sat with this bet doesn't interest me. And again, as Craig said in that live stream, that's what you got to do. You don't just go out there and bet every game. That's not what it's all about. You have to find your different spots and pick and choose which ones you want to do, and that's what we did. Now, because we get some of these for the Golden Nugget and they were in play, Kent State getting 6.5. That was our first pick. And let's keep going with the college games that we've got going on right now. One of the games that you said you were very happy about with your pick on the live stream is another game that we just took in the Golden Nugget, and that's San Diego State giving 3.5 in their bowl game. But you love their defense, dude.
Yeah, they're getting good support for 3.5 too. That line really hasn't moved, but I think they're in a really good spot in this game. We just don't want to see them go down at all because they probably won't be able to come back because they don't have the offense to do it. But we discussed it yesterday. You can go back and watch the live stream. They're one of the best defenses in the country. They haven't given up 24 points in a game all season long. And I believe it's Central Michigan that they're playing, hasn't scored 24 in a game all season long. So the math just kind of tells you there that this is going to be a probably low-scoring game where we're not going to really know at the half if we're going to win or not, but I do feel good about our chances there of laying the 3.5 points, a rare favorite that we'll take in the bowl games.
More than happy to take it, no doubt about it. All right, next game that we took, SMU against Florida Atlantic. We went with the underdog here. FAU getting 3 points. So talk to me, because SMU's they were a darling for a lot of people all season long.
Yeah, they had a really good year, and if this is just too much of an overreaction, I think, to the coach, Lane Kiffin leaving. There's still players that have to play on the field. And I suppose that just from a general bowl point of view, like if you weren't doing these live streams or if you really didn't pay attention that closely to college football and you just may see the Boca Raton Bowl, you may not know that FAU is playing in their home stadium. I think they're the only team in all of college football in the bowls to play in their home stadium. And look, from a interest point of view for the kids, they love to go to the Bahamas. They love to go to California. There's no doubt. Okay. But from a winning and losing point of view, I would think that they want to be at home. So
sure.
I thought this game would be pick'em or maybe even FAU be a 1-point favorite. But this is just basically saying that there's no confidence with Kiffin leaving to go to Mississippi. And FAU has played fantastic at home all season, including a win against a bowl team a couple of weeks ago, 49-6. So we'll take the 3 points here. And again, FAU doesn't need to win. They lose by 1, we cover. So there's a lot of support for FAU also in this one from people who are smart that do this. So I feel pretty good about that one.
All right. Well, now you're going to have to explain yourself on this next pick here, because one of the things that we did discuss in the bowl game preview was just how much teams with really large point spreads, laying a lot of points, 2 or more, 3 or more scores, and how they're covering.
In the bowls, yeah.
In the bowls. And now here we are. We're taking Marshall.
Not in the NFL, by the way, but in the bowls, yes.
Yeah. And I'm talking college, dude.
Yeah, just kind of for curiosity standpoint. People may wonder what happens in the NFL when a team is 10-point favorites or more. They usually don't cover.
Yeah, well, we've talked about that since day one here of this live stream. I hate giving double-digit point spreads in the NFL. No way.
Any team, you can't do it. But yeah, in this case, Doc Holliday is 6-0 in the last 6 bowl games he's played in, straight up and against the spread. And a weird game, 2:30 Eastern, in a game an hour and a half from where Central Florida plays. I don't want to rag on UCF's fans. I mean, I'm sure that they will bring 15,000 kids probably to see this game on Monday. They will all be on vacations. That does make some sense. But, I mean, is SMU 17.5 points worse than Central Florida? I guess we'll find out in this one. Maybe this is just one that I have pegged wrong. But this is as strong a trend as you can get.
This is not something that you said when we were discussing the picks already. Wait a minute.
We're still taking
Marshall.
Yeah,
I know. But now all of a sudden, now you're like, maybe we're on the wrong side of this.
Well, you never know. Like I said with the Cowboys and Eagles this week, I'm gonna in something I am picking the Eagles because I believe the Cowboys, everyone's gonna take them, and I feel like they're gonna win too, and they're not. Like this is one of those games where every single thing points toward taking Marshall and the points, but UCF does have the propensity to score a lot of points. I still think that the coach is getting his kids prepared for bowl games every year, and as a result of that, they're winning and they're covering. They may not win this game, but I think 17 points is too much. And so we will take the points in this Monday afternoon game as the 3rd bowl game that we'll have in this one.
4th bowl game, actually.
4th bowl game. So did we miss one?
No, Kent State plus 6.5, San Diego State minus 3.5, Florida Atlantic plus 3, Marshall plus 17.5. You're so wrapped up right now in this Kent State game that it's already going on that you can't. Yeah, look at you. You look like Adam Gase calling a play on the sideline all of a sudden. So we got.
Yeah, I feel good about our college picks. I feel good about our college picks every week. It's not that I don't feel good about the NFL picks. It's just sometimes the NFL is so sideways. There's no reasoning for it. Like when things happen in college and we lose, I'm just kind of like, that was a bad game. But then you have Denver going to Houston and winning 38-7. You're just like, what? Who had that? Jacksonville going to Oakland in their last game ever, beating them outright after they're down. And those things, I don't feel like those happen that much in college football. Like those huge monstrous things that you don't see coming. So, but anyway, 4 college games, 3 pro. So what do we got for the pros?
What do we got for the pros? We're taking a slice out of Saturday's slate, going with the middle game there, taking the Buffalo Bills. We're getting 6.5 points. Listen, I honestly, I don't care if the Bills win. I just feel like this game is going to stay close. I think that Buffalo their defense has gotten solid enough. We're seeing a lot of issues with the Patriots offense. Granted, the Patriots defense is what's winning them games right now, but this one, I think this one's going to be a low-scoring game. It's got a low over/under on the game. I think it's like a 37.5 right now.
Very low. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like Buffalo keeps this one close, and gives us the cover at least.
Yeah. I mean, I think Buffalo has a chance to win. They outside of San Francisco in the second half against Lamar Jackson, I thought Buffalo did the best job of any team in the NFL against him this year. I guess Cleveland did a good job too, but he turned the ball over. So I'm on board with this completely. I would love to be online and get 7 as opposed to 6.5 because that's a key number. But for the purposes of the contest, we can't buy points, so we'll take 6.5.
No. So we go to another dog with our second game for the NFL, and that's Arizona Cardinals getting 9.5. going up against Seattle. You look at Seattle's some of their home games and their wins, aren't the margin of victory has not been big at all. So, I find it kind of interesting that a little bit of an emerging offense that we're seeing from Arizona. They're all of a sudden, they're super happy with Kenyon Drake. Obviously, when he scores 4 touchdowns, that'll do it to you.
Sure.
But there's a lot of belief here that Arizona can go into Seattle. They've been there tons of times. They can go in there and they can keep this one close. Now, I obviously worry about this just jumping out, ahead of us like super quickly, and Seattle getting, some, a defensive touchdown on a careless play by Kyler Murray. But I still believe that we can end up getting. It might be the backdoor cover, but I'll still take a cover.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up, because let's rewind to last week's game with Seattle. What happened in that game against Carolina?
That is true. Yeah, we got screwed on that one.
Right,
we had 6 points.
We had Seattle, but what did Seattle do against Carolina? 7-0, 14-0.
Yeah, they jumped up big.
And what did they do against Atlanta a few weeks ago with Matt Schaub? 7-0, 14-0, 21-0. Schaub brings them all the way back. I don't think their defense can hold anybody. Seattle can still win very easily in this game, and I think that they would take a 3-point win. But road dogs have been covering like crazy in the NFL. Why not just keep going on that trend? And look, Kyler Murray doesn't have to really do that much to stay in this game. He just has to avoid those horrible mistakes like he did a couple of weeks ago against Pittsburgh. That really was a disappointing game, because there were a lot of plays that Murray had right in front of him that could have at least given us a cover. And Arizona outplayed Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago, and they lost the game, and they bounced back this past week to win. Can Arizona beat Seattle? I mean, that's going a long way on that. But I think
I don't think they have the weaponry for it. Christian Kirk is still banged up, and even if he plays, I mean, it's one guy. Larry Fitzgerald is obviously, lost his battle with Father Time. So they don't really have anybody else weapon-wise for this. I mean, they were using David Johnson out, lining him up on the outside and using him as a receiver.
Yeah.
So there isn't a lot to love when you're dealing with the with Arizona's offense. But
yeah, my guess is it's like 21-10 in the fourth. Seattle's leading. And then one way or the other, we're going to get a cover. It'll be something like that. Seattle will decide, do we kick the field goal? Do we go for the touchdown? They get the touchdown, we cover. But I feel good about this. I like getting this kind of points in the NFL. And this is not like getting Detroit points or getting Dolphins points, like Arizona or Cincinnati points. Like Arizona can move the football.
Yeah, okay. All right, so there you go. And then we go with one last game here, and this is where we go with our favorite. This is where we go with the Chiefs. They're minus 6-point favorites in this game. They're getting back Damian Williams. Not that that's going to be the be-all, end-all, but yet another guy to mix up into the backfield, kind of keep some fresh legs. We'll see what happens with Mahomes. Obviously, him and Tyreek Hill. That's it's a tandem worth investing in. So, I looked at this line and it kind of looked normal to me. Like normal in the sense that I was like, yeah, I mean, the Chiefs haven't been blowing people out of the water.
Lately, they have. The last few weeks,
can they win this one by a touchdown? Yeah, I do think they can.
Well, they blew out Denver and they blew out Oakland in back-to-back weeks. Their defense has been a top 10 defense since the bye week, since they've come back. And how can you have any faith whatsoever when what the Bears are doing? They can't run. They have to basically throw to come back in every game. What is the worry in this one? Okay, I'll break it down for you. If Tampa Bay beats Houston and New England loses to Buffalo, and I think that there's like one more piece of the pie, it would make the game irrelevant for Kansas City. But a lot has to happen for that to play in. I think Kansas City blows out the Bears on Sunday night. I don't think the Bears, they're playing for nothing at this point. I think they have to completely blow up what they do in Chicago one way or the other. I understand that game came down to the last play and they were tossing the ball all over the place and they almost scored. And that clearly would have been a cover for them. But I don't even put Green Bay and Kansas City in the same conversation. I think that Kansas City has a great shot to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, in the AFC, they're right there basically with everybody else. Kansas City is basically going to be involved in a game probably with Baltimore on the road, and it's going to be close, and they're going to have a chance to win, to go to the Super Bowl. I think that that's what it's going to come down to. Look, New England could obviously get there too. Let's not discount them. But I think that for most people would agree, I think Baltimore is probably headed to the AFC Championship. Whether they win or not, I'm not willing to go that far because anything can happen in that game. But I like the way the Chiefs are playing, offensively, defensively, and I don't think that you can stop them right now. So, Bears, how are they going to stay? If this game is 14-3, what are the Bears going to do?
They're not going to do anything. I mean, if the Chiefs' defense has any kind of a weakness, it is against the ground game.
And that guy's done nothing all year.
Well, that's the thing, is that Nagy he doesn't use them. He doesn't use them.
They sometimes give him the ball 15 times in a row. He gets 1 yard. I have not been impressed with Montgomery all year long. I have not been impressed with him. I'm sorry. I've seen him in the goal line getting carries and things. I understand that he's had a few games that he's looked better. And look, I liked him coming out of Iowa State. I think that he was really good. But I think at this point it's safe to say that Miles Sanders looks more talented than David Montgomery, I think, personally. But
it's a different. See, that's the thing, though. It's a different offensive scheme. I mean, you look at Peterson's offense versus the offense that Nagy's running, and it's. I mean,
I thought Nagy was like this genius from Kansas City.
No, that's the problem, is that everybody thinks he's this genius, and he wants to be the smartest guy in the room, so he thinks that he's going to outthink everybody. I mean, he's more arrogant than McVay, and he's too stubborn to realize that if he just pounds the ball on the ground consistently, and that's the problem, is that he didn't do it in the beginning of the season. He did it for like a 3-game stretch. And I'm sorry, you're just not going to get your running backs going. I'm not sitting here saying that David Montgomery is the be all end all, but this dude got a raw deal. Like he's in a bad situation with a coach who just sucks at calling plays.
All right, we'll see next year.
What do you mean we'll see next year? David Montgomery's still going to be on the team, and Matt Nagy's still going to be the coach.
Well, I mean, yeah. So I'm just not in on. I'm not in on Montgomery.
I'm not going to be in on Montgomery anyway. Again, this is worse than what we saw with Jordan Howard last year when Nagy was using Tariq Cohen left and right. I mean, exactly.
I just don't think in this game that I think the Chiefs are going to keep scoring, and I don't think the Bears can keep up. And it may be close for a while, and then in the end, it will not be. I like the way the Chiefs are playing.
I'm with you. I am with you 100%, obviously, because we made the picks together. Didn't we? So there you go. Those are our golden nugget picks. Kent State plus 6.5, San Diego State minus 3.5, Florida Atlantic plus 3, Marshall plus the 17.5. Bills plus 6.5, Cards plus 9.5, Chiefs minus 6. And so far, knock wood, we're off to an okay start here. Kent State 23-17, leading at halftime. Don't count your chickens. Don't smirk.
No,
don't smirk.
Definitely not. Not in a bowl game. That's for sure.
Never. Not in any college game. Doesn't matter. The score could be 31-3 right now, and it'll finish up 62-31.
How about Baylor? Tell Baylor what the score is at halftime.
Tell Baylor.
What a shame.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
All right, so those are our golden nugget picks. Let's talk about the super contest. We're reusing the Bills. It's the same line. It's 6.5. We're reusing the Cardinals. Same line, 9.5.
Okay.
We're laying 6.5 with the Chiefs this time. Neither one of us are concerned about that extra half point. Not in this game.
No, not really. Although it burned us last week with Seattle, but yeah.
So you know what? It didn't. I mean, we lost, and the other one we pushed.
I know, but we should have pushed both. But it happens. Six is kind of a key number, but I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it.
1 is the loneliest number.
Thank you.
For our other 2 games, the first one that we took, getting another slice of tomorrow, and that is Houston Texans. We're laying 3 to the Bucks. This, to me, this comes down. This game could be a shootout, should be a shootout. Neither secondary is particularly strong. I'm leaning on the quarterback who doesn't throw 6 interceptions per game, and I can actually run one in on his own. I think Deshaun Watson ends up being the guy who steps out for this one. He's got better weapons in Fuller and Hopkins and Stills. He's getting Darren Fells back as his tight end. On the other side there, you've got Winston, and he's got Brashad Perriman, who I love. I think it was, solid. But after that, it's Justin Watson, O.J. Howard. It's a lot of suspectness here. So back and forth it goes. I think Houston ends up winning this one and covering this spread.
Yeah, the line looks wrong. It looks like Tampa Bay should be favored with the way that they've played the last few weeks. And I think that what this is telling you is that the line, it probably is going to suck a lot of people into Tampa Bay. My guess is they're a very popular pick for the Super Contest this weekend, which usually means it's the other side. So in this case, Houston does appear to be the right pick. Yeah. A lot of people will be on Tampa.
Good. Let them. What's that you say? All those hotels in Vegas, what are they built on?
They were not built on people winning, Howard.
No, they weren't. You're channeling my Uncle Murray.
Mo Green. Nobody talks to Mo Green like that. No one watching has a clue what that just meant, but that's okay.
Are you serious? Come on. Who doesn't know Mo Green?
We got young watchers on the live stream.
Do we really?
Very young, yeah.
Are you sure? Tweet at us, at Craig Mish, at RotoBuzz Guy. Do you understand? Do you know who Mo Green is?
Yeah, I would love to hear from somebody that they do.
Right? All right.
Well,
best scenes of all time. He's being. I can't even. I almost quoted, but for the sake of the children out there who are watching this live stream, I won't. Moving right along.
Yes.
Final game, Super Contest. We're going to the Monday Night Football game. I am going against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm taking the Packers. I'm taking the 5.5 points that I'm getting in this one. And this comes down to, Cousins, primetime, no bueno. We have no idea who the running back is going to be for Minnesota. I'll bank it on Aaron Rodgers here, Devontae Adams and that whole crew, Aaron Jones. That Minnesota run D's softened up a lot over the last couple of weeks. So I kind of feel like they might be getting a little tired, and I'll take the Pack.
Yeah, I haven't been good on Minnesota all year, so I'll just defer to you on this one. Look, the line, looking at it, people are probably shocked. How is Minnesota 5.5 point favorites over Green Bay? Green Bay's underlying stats are terrible. I can tell you right now, without a doubt, whether we're in a contest or not, I definitely will be fading the Packers the second they get to the playoffs. I do not think they advance in the first round. They just really haven't looked good all season long, but they somehow have found ways to win, especially if they're a favorite in the first round. I'll definitely be fading them without question. The other thing is that for whatever reason, when you're betting and when you're doing picks, if you're doing something right, you keep doing it. And last week we took the Saints Monday night. They won. The week before we took the Giants Monday night. They covered against Philadelphia, so we seem to have a pretty good beat on these Monday night games. Why not stick with it? So we'll take Minnesota minus 5.5.
All right. See that? Easy peasy. There you go. Bills plus 6.5, Texans minus 3, Cardinals plus 9.5, Chiefs minus 6.5, and the Packers plus 5.5. Did you just give me a touchdown symbol?
No, I just the game is back on here. So I have to watch the second half of this game. I do want to add one more pick to this. I wouldn't have it strong enough in the contest, but the more and more I keep thinking about it, the more and more I do think that the Eagles beat the Cowboys. I do. I think that that's going to happen.
I'm okay with that.
I just keep thinking, like, I see this playing out this way. Like, I see when I close my eyes and dream, I picture a Monday on every television station ripping Dallas. They lost the big one again. This guy's got to get, like, I just feel that coming, like it just, and who knows if Prescott's really healthy or not, honestly. Like, do we really know that?
I mean, how do you go from, I know how you go from not being able to lift your arm up above your head, and now all of a sudden you're off the injury report. God bless the cortisone shot. But, again, I struggle with this. And I got a lot of people who ask me in fantasy about using Amari Cooper or Michael Gallup. And I'm fading Dallas completely.
I think you got to do it. Yeah, I think.
Had I known that this was your lean, I would have gone all in with Philadelphia.
It's just an extra pick, I think, for me, because it feels so much like Dallas is the right side. They're only 2.5. It's like that short spread where all Dallas has to do is win by 3. But, the thing with Philadelphia, too, is I've thought it through a little bit more on this pick, is that the Eagles over the last couple of years have been at their best in these spots when you think they're done. They looked horrible against the Dolphins. They look horrible against the Redskins. Wentz is hurt. Who's this Foles guy coming in? Super Bowl looks like New England's going to win. You know, it's like, and last year they have no shot of making the playoffs. Remember those shows? Philadelphia has no chance whatsoever. And they did. It's like, this is their spot. Like, this is always when they come up and shock people. They'll probably lose the following week, and they'll probably lose in the first round of the playoffs. But I don't know, man. I just, even with them being so bereft of any talent at wide receiver and not really having a second option, I guess Boston Scott's okay, but really not having a great option at running back, no secondary whatsoever. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about this one. I think that that Philadelphia ends up winning this one. That's just an extra pick for me.
All right. I can dig it. I got the Golden Nugget ticket posted up on Wager Alarm. Right. As soon as I get the one from the Super Contest, I'll be posting that one as well. That's going to do it for us, especially considering Kent State sitting on the 9-yard line or the 10-yard line. So I don't want Craig to have a conniption right here on the live stream. So big thanks to Matt Sells. Big thanks to Monkey Knife Fight, our sponsor, fantasyalarm.com/monkey. $10 match deposit on your first deposit over there. Again, Monkey Knife Fight, prop games, fantasyalarm.com/monkey. That's going to do it for us here on the Wager Alarm live stream. For Craig Mish, I'm Howard Bender. We'll catch you next time.